of our new ship, huh? How's she holding up?
All systems check. Everything's perfect.
Looks like you did another excellent job. Thanks, Tron. I'm always impressed at how you're able to build such neat toys.
It's not that big of a deal, Teasel. I mean, you were able to get us the best kind of equipment, which let us finish the job a lot faster than it would have taken.
I know we spent a lot of money on this ship, which means we're going to have to work hard to get it back. That's why I've got something really big planned for us this time. We're going to take the legendary treasure of the Nakai Desert, Diana's Tear.
What? But that's supposed to be one of the biggest refractors in the world. How did you find it?
It wasn't easy. I had to spend a lot to get that information. That old junk dealer drove a hard bargain.
Anyway, all right, people, you know the plan. I'm going to take Shift B in. Man your stations, everyone. We're rolling out.
Roger. Huh? Shift B? What about me, Teasel?
Tron, you stay here with the guest shaft. You've done enough work already. Can't have you take care of everything, you know?
But Teasel!
Don't you worry about a thing. We'll be back before you know it. You just sit back and relax, okay? All right, boys. Ready? Let's go get that treasure!
Ready? Yes, sir! The Misadventures of Tron Bonne!
Hello everybody and welcome to Purple Plays, The Misadventures of Tron Bonne. I've been waiting for this game for a while, or I've been waiting to play this game for a while. This is why I originally wanted to be my first Let's Play ever, but could never really get around to having the tools to record it. And also, at the time when I really wanted to record this, I had no access to my PlayStation 3. It's a long story, I don't need to go into too much details. Basically, it was always stuck in the living room because of reasons, but due to other developments, I've been able to now move it into my room, so now I can record all my PlayStation games. But you guys already know that because I recorded Bully before. But I'm going off tangent. Let's go ahead and just start the game. Okay, so you have a choice of being able to manually aim for Mega Man Legends players. You can use the L2 button to auto lock. I'm going to be using the manual aim for the entirety of the game except for the intro. I'm going to show off the auto aim because, well, I just want to. And then as for the turning controls, you can either use the D-pad to turn, or you can strafe using the R1 and L1 buttons, or you can reverse that for the default setting. I personally like this other one, but only for this game. And the other Legends games, I usually go for this. I don't know why. It might be because of how your character moves. I know I'm kind of like going off on like the controls without telling the history of this game. Just to give a small rundown because I don't want to like spend too much time on it. Basically, this is like a spin-off prequel of the Mega Man Legends series, which is one of my favorite of the Mega Man series. I wish it continued, but Capcom and whatever. This is there is the Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 games. Mega Man 64 is also just Mega Man Legends 1, in case anybody has played that before but wasn't sure what that was all about. And this game is the third of the series, and this came out before Legends 2, and it's my favorite of the of the trilogy. I don't know if I can classify it as a trilogy, but I'm gonna do it. I just love this game so much, from all the characters and their interactions, all the way to the music, the gameplay, and how everything's just executed. It's all fantastic. It's just right, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. So without further ado, let's begin.
What gives? After I went to all that trouble and spent all that money to get this treasure map, it's a fake! I knew it was too good to be true. I mean, it's supposed to be a legendary treasure. It's not going to be found that easily. I'll get that junk store owner if it's the last thing I ever do. Oh, where the heck are those ruins anyway? I've been looking for hours. This is the Gustav Bonne Bonne. Can you hear me? Over. There's nothing here but sand. Have you found anything? Over. What? A giant doorway? That's it! That has to be the entrance we're looking for. I knew you could do it, Bonne Bonne. Now we're in business. What's your heading? North? All right. Stand by, I'm on my way. All right, boys, let's go!
Yay! Mission start!
And so we begin. This is, well, the intro stage. Also, how do we get here? There's no way I know how we could have gotten through here. Oh well.
Which way is it? Let's see. Tron said to use the directional button to look around.
So when using the directional button, we can turn like this. But if we're using the controls I have and you press R1 and L1, you can move to the side like this.
Whoa! It's a Reaverbot, one of the robots that guard the old ruins. Looks like we'll have to fight our way through. That means using the square button to fire. I'll have to thank Tron for setting up this auto-aim system.
So if you're playing with the auto aim, if you're facing one way, all you need to do is just press square and you'll automatically aim onto the nearest enemy. For obvious reasons, I'm going to be using the manual aim because that can get annoying when there's clusters of enemies. Real quick, I'm just going to go ahead and skip the dialogue that's over here.
Huh? What the heck was that? Hey, Tron, what was that I just fired?
It's a beacon bomb, Teasel. If you hold the R2 button down, you'll see a target appear. Use the directional button to move the target to where you want the serve box to go. And press the fire button. will launch a beacon bomb, which will tell them where to go.
Oh, I see. Clever.
So that'll explain that. Although she'll also tell you if you go up here.
There's a little hole there. I bet the servobots could fit it.
Like so. But there would be extra dialogue where he asks about the beacon bomb. Not necessarily about the bomb, but about the function of being able to control the servobots. These little guys are called servobots if you haven't figured it out. For anybody who's never played a Mega Man Legends game or Dead Rising or any other Capcom game where these guys are shown off in some way or another, or hell, anybody who's not played even Marvel vs. Capcom, these little guys are Tron's robots, more or less, and they're just lovely.
There's some rocks blocking the road. What was it Tron said? Ah, that's right. Use the triangle button to pick things up.
And that pretty much covers all of the tutorial here. So you can shoot, grab stuff, certain objects, it just doesn't have to be rocks. And you can move around, use a beacon bomb. So yeah, those are the basic controls. There's still actually quite a few things you can do. I mean, with this robot and stuff, there's not too much to go on. But I'll get more into the game as we progress onward. There's not really much for me to say because, I mean, the game kind of just speaks for itself. And by the way, this is, I believe, a 1990s Capcom game where I consider the voice acting to be superb. It's not Mega Man 8 and Mega Man X4 and Resident Evil volumes of horribleness, where it's like so cheesy and horrible that it's not worth listening to, or it is. I don't know what I'm saying. Like, it's so bad it's good. This is actually good and cheesy because Teasel here is pretty funny and over the top. Which, by the way, I should go ahead and mention. This character right here in the green is Teasel Bonne. There's a servbot piloting the robot, and the robot that we're about to come on to right now, the yellow one with the pacifier in his mouth, his name is Bonne Bonne. I'll get more into them later on as we progress through the game, but I just wanted to give that introduction. Now for another cutscene.
Must be it! Ahem. This is the Gustav. Come in, Gesellschaft.
Gesellschaft here. Go ahead.
I'm in front of the sub-gate. I'm going to go in. Tell Tron not to worry. Over.
Teasel, is everything okay? How's the Gustav holding up?
That you, Tron? Everything's fine. The Gustav's doing great. How could it not, after all? You made it. Don't worry about a thing. We'll be home with the treasure before you... Huh? What's that?
What? What's going on, Teasel? Teasel!
You're a hard man to find, Teasel Bonne. Don't you recognize me? I'm hers. It's me, Glide. I work for Mr. Loeb, remember? I'm sure you know why I've come all this way to find you.
Wait! I can get the money I borrowed from Lowe's back real soon! Once this job's over, I'll have your money, honest!
I'm afraid it's too late. The deadline is long past. Give it back. All of it. Now.
Time to pay the piper! Ah!
Listen, if you just wait a few more...
Silence. Don't you understand? Your time is up. You leave me no choice but to exercise our option. That big body of yours is mine now. Come along.
What's going on, Diesel? What's happening?
I've run into a little trouble here, Tron. Don't worry, though. I'll be back soon.
You're not exactly my type, but if you want to play around a little, I'm game. Take your best shot.
Diesel!
And here we have our intro boss. Just move about 2 steps away. Then his beam can't shoot you. Just keep shooting, let him come, and then about another 2 steps. And this is all I do. And he can't touch me at all. He even shoots my feet. And he can't do a thing.
Not bad. I'd expect no less from the leader of the Bonne family. But not quite good enough. Ultimate Glide Laser!
Miss Tron, we've lost contact with the Gustav. I wonder if Teasel's all right. He said he'd run into some trouble. It's no use standing around here worrying. I'm gonna go to their last known position and make sure everything's okay. Block D, can you hear me? We're heading out in a truck to look for the Gustav. The rest of you, wait at your normal stations, okay? Roger! Yes, ma'am!
Yay! We're going on a mission.
What happened to Teasel and Bonne Bonne? Miss Tron, it was so scary. We were so frightened. Calm down. It's all right. It's over now. Can you tell me what happened to Teasel and Bonne Bonne? They were beaten up. They were both taken away. Taken away? But by who? Why? Loadsmen. They said if we can't pay back our debt, they'll make us work it off. Debt? Teasel never said anything about a debt. He must not have wanted to worry us and so didn't tell us about it. That's just like him. Well, let's get back to the Gesellschaft. We have to make a plan to rescue them. Let's go! Roger! What could be taking them? It shouldn't take this long to find something like that. Huh? Miss Tron, we found it! We found it! What took you so long? Hurry! Give it to me! Yep, this is it. This is Teasel's receipt for the money.
What does it say? Read it, Miss Tron.
Let's see. I owe you. I, Teasel Bonne, do hereby state that I owe Loath Inc. the sum of 1 million zenny, to be paid back in full. Huh? 1 million zenny? What was Teasel doing with so much money? Wait a minute. The date on this IOU. It's from around the time we were building the Gesellschaft. Teasel said not to worry about money. He said we had plenty, and then he went out and bought everything.
Miss Tron, should we make dinner for Master Teasel and Master Bonne Bonne tonight?
No, not tonight. But keep their places ready. They'll be back. I'm gonna pay this IOU and bring Teasel and Bonne Bonne back.
Yes, ma'am.
And so we have our premise. Teasel borrowed from a loan shark named Lex Loath. We just know him as Loath. And he owes him 1 million zenny. So now we have to reach 1 million zenny, which is like $1 million. And pay him back so we can get Tron's brothers back. Teasel and Bonne Bonne are both the brothers of Tron Bonne. So we'll be playing as her pretty much throughout the entire game, hence why it's called The Misadventures of Tron Bonne, not The Misadventures of the Bonds. So here's our HUD, where we are on the Flying Fortress base HQ of the Bonds, the Gesellschaft, which is home of the Bonds themselves, including all the Servbot minions that they have. I'm going to refer to them as Servbots because just calling them minions is an insult. Yeah, had to pull something out of my hair. And there are actually 40 of them, and all of them are actually pretty unique, more or less, believe it or not. They all have a registered number, and if you would like to know which Servbot is which, press the square button, and their numbers will pop up above their heads. As you can see, this place occupies number 1, 6, 40, 15, 11, and 16. You can also talk to them at any time. In fact, let's go over the menu. You can find out about all the details about every every button. I can't think of the word. To see what it does. On mission, have a planning meeting, then begin a mission, which is the main core of the gameplay of this game. You can speak with a Servbot, as I shown just a second ago. Select the Servbot to talk with the right or left keys. So use the right or left keys to navigate through the room. I'll get into what I just pulled up right there in a second. To move, check up on what's happening in the various Gesellschaft rooms. So it's not just this piloting area that you saw in the intro or here. There's also a lab, a storage, a cafe, a meeting room, and a gym. But there's actually a couple more rooms as well. But they are still under construction until you do a number of missions. I don't know how many it takes to unlock certain rooms, or if it's a specific mission entirely. But the more missions you do, the more rooms will become available. I think there's maybe 6 rooms that still need to be unlocked. I'm not sure. I don't remember. You have the scouting option. Sent a Servbot to scout, which means that there's a little map where you can send 3 Servbots out into the world, and they'll scout out certain areas. And when you're done with the mission, they will come back and will bring to you their findings. They'll usually find some miscellaneous item like a comic book or seashell or something, and mainly it's just to be sold in the storage area. But there are times where they can actually bring back something pretty good, like a finance book that can decrease the cost of certain things in the lab. We'll get to that probably in the next part. And there's other things too, which we'll get into later on as we progress through the game. And then there's the system, save games and set various game options. So basically this is the save spot and the options. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the shot to manual mode. And then there's the point of view. Press down arrow while holding R2. Yeah, pressing down while holding R2 button moves viewpoint up. So yeah, it's reversed. If you're aiming with the beacon bomb, that's basically what it means. The controls are inverted. But you can also have it normal if you want. I'm just going to keep it like this because I've been playing the game for a while, and that's kind of how I just, do things. Have your sound, obviously. That vibration. Surprisingly, it's off. I'll leave it off, I guess. No, I'm going to turn it on. I actually haven't had it on before. Okay, so there's that. And let's talk to some serve bots. Number 1, you're the oldest, so you have to keep your eye on everyone. Understand? Yes, Miss Tron. I've kept a diary explaining how to do everything. Really? Let me see. Wow, this is great. You've done a good job. Thank you, Miss Tron. You can keep it and use it if you want. Alright, thank you. No, Miss Tron, the pleasure's mine. So here we obtain strategy notes. This item is useless to us really until we can give it to a different serve bot. To give items to serve bots, while you're in the talking menu, press circle and you'll pull up this menu where you can give an item. Here we have the strategy notes. There's data, depending on where your cursor is. You can still move the cursor, by the way. You can get data on that specific serve bot. Like here we have the stats pulled up. Yes, each serve bot has their own stats, and it shows their stats, which are all different as far as I'm aware of. And a certain skill that they learned. Like number 1 is a sniper. I'll get more into that later as well. You have the list, which pulls up the entire list of the serve bots. The ones that are highlighted gray are the ones that are available. The ones that are highlighted black are unavailable. These ones are unavailable because they are in rooms that are still under construction. So once the rooms become available, then you can use these serve bots to scout and go take on missions. Until then, you're only dealt with a certain few. And some are better than others, especially some in the later game when the final room is unlocked. And then there's naming, where you can name a serve bot up to a 4-letter name or anything like that. I'm not really going to bother with this. Maybe by endgame I might for a certain reason, but otherwise I have no reason to. Let's talk to another one. How about number 40? Miss Tron, what are you going to do with the Gesellschaft now that it's finished? Let me tell you. I'm too busy to talk now. Let me tell you. Alright, I'll tell you. You'll be the first to know. Yay! The Gesellschaft is equipped with everything we need to get ready for missions. For example, it can be used to develop new Gustav parts. But most importantly, it can be used to train new serve bots. If you train, you can take a more active part in missions, develop special skills, and learn how to do all sorts of things. Still, all 40 of you don't have to train. You can train individually. Serve bots with combat skills can train and help with missions. Or the serve bots with science skills can train to improve the Gustav. Some serve bots have, well, let's say unique skills. And the only way to learn about them is to talk to every serve bot and get to know them. It's also important to inspect the ship regularly by talking with the surfbots frequently. You can learn what they're up to in each room and find out all sorts of things. Talking to all the surfbots will help you when you don't know what to do next. Got it? Got it. So basically that's a rundown of how going about the Gesellschaft works, and I recommend to talk to the surfbots on occasion. They're all friendly, otherwise they'll get what's coming to them. But that will come at a later time. So before I end this part, I'm going to show off one of the rooms. And in fact, I'm going to show off what she was talking about in terms of training the surfbots. Here we have the gym. We can talk to number 12 over here. Miss Tron, are all of us the same? I mean, do we all have the same abilities? Of course not. Everyone's different. Some are faster, stronger, or smarter. Everyone's got their own abilities, so you should train according to your own needs. Yes, Miss Tron. Number 38, who is the teacher of all the surfbots, like in terms of training. Miss Tron, are you happy with our abilities as they are? No, I'm not. I thought so. That's why I've developed a training program to raise our attack ratings. Everyone can use it to get stronger. And I've made up what I call the Super Surfbot Power-Up Plan. This month's goal is to train surfbots number 1 through 8. I've also found out something interesting. Please listen. Just like different flowers grow in the same field, each surfbot has a different skill. For example, some surfbots' attack ratings won't go very high, no matter how much they train. That means their talents lie in a different area, and you need to figure out what it is. The true meaning of training is to allow everyone to reach their full potential. I'll be working on new training sessions. Let me know if you have any ideas. And then there's number 13. Whew. I wish there was a training program to increase my speed. That way I wouldn't have to work like this all day long. Foreshadowing. But as he says that there is a course for training the attack rating. And for the first half of the game, you can only train surfbots 1 through 8. The reason why you can't train number 8 though is because when you start, after you finish the intro stage, number 8 and I believe number 9 are automatically sent out to scout. So you don't have to worry about sending any other surfbots to scout out. You can send one more, but I wouldn't really bother. Not right now anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show off the training and train number 1. This is training room number 1. Do you want to hear the rules of this training game? No, I'm going to explain it while I do it. Alright, get ready to start training. Man, he got mad. And begin. Okay, so this is target practice, pretty much. Use the square button to catch the bombs, but you can also let them fall onto the ground, as I'll show off right there. Oh, okay. I automatically grabbed it off the ground. Whatever. So yeah, you can grab it off the ground or you can catch it. I recommend catching because it's faster. You have regular targets in the form of civilians. You have a bazooka target that gives you a bazooka that can shoot through both rows. And then you also have the special targets in the form of a lady in a blue uniform. You have Glide from the beginning. And you have a guy in a cheap pink suit. We'll get to these characters as the game progresses as well. But that ends first round. Okay, so as I was saying, the reason why I brought up those certain targets like him, the blue, and Glide is because those targets give you double points. I mean, each target's worth 1 point, but those ones are worth 2. So you really want to hit them whenever you can. I mean, I shouldn't say focus on them like intently, or like if they pop up, they should be your main focus. I'm just saying that, like I'd go out of your way every now and then, especially like near the end. This is a very generous targeting thing. This item right here is curry rice. If you eat it by pressing the circle button, you'll be able to extend, well, not really extend your time, but freeze the timer for about 5 seconds, maybe 7, I don't know. And that's round 2. To get the best out of, to get the best amount of points, what you want to do is you want to throw your bombs in between 2 targets, because then the bombs will knock both of the targets out. As you can see right there, I got 3 points because I hit a 2-point target and a 1-point target. As I said before, the bazooka is just like any, well, I don't think I said it before, but the bazooka is basically just like any other target. 1, you get 1 point, and 2, it gives you a bazooka that can shoot through both rows. Utilize that and shoot in between, that way you can get the most out of it. In fact, I think you can clear the entire thing if you were to do that. There are 3 rounds to this. After you complete 3 rounds, the attack rating of whatever serve bot you use will go up. If you jitter around, not while you have the bazooka, but if you jitter around without it, you'll actually trip your serve bot. All the serve bots play the same when you're doing this, as you can see now. Number 1's attack rating went to 3. And that means that it maxed out because his highs can only be 3. But despite the stats, all the serve bots play the same. They all run the same speed and throw the same distance and all that whatnot. So the game's the same. It's just how often you can do it. Because number 1 doesn't have the highest attack rating, he'll only be able to play that level. There are actually different like levels in terms of that course. That was level 1. And then there's, I believe, another one that's, I think there's only 2 levels now that I think about it. But anyways, the higher level requires, well, it starts off I think at 43 to pass the first round, then goes up to 46, and then it goes to 50. As you can see, I believe in the first round I got 50 points, but in the second round I got 49. That's why I said you want to throw your bombs between the targets to get the most proficiency out of your throws. But you also want to make sure if the surf bot that's running around pulling up more signs, you want to make sure that you're hitting the targets as he's about to pass them. That way he can pull up more targets when you start clearing out more targets. Sorry, I'm being redundant here. My vocabulary could use some improving. But you get the gist of it. So plan with that, and when you find a serve bot where you want to increase their attack a certain amount, then you'll be able to. But in the meantime, let's see, we only have that one course. There's another course, and it relates to what number 13 was saying earlier, and I'll show that off when that comes along. But that course isn't available. I think you have to do a certain amount of missions in order for that to unlock. I'm not sure yet. But what I'm going to do is off screen, I'm going to train some of my serve bots. That way they have the max attack stat that they can. And then next time, Purple plays the Misadventures of Tron Bonne, we're going to be starting off with our first of many missions. And I'll get into how the missions are in the next part. I'll see you guys next time.